Last week, Nintendo released Nintendo Switch Update for their operating system 6.2.0, and it was just labeled as a system stability update, adding that stability. But this update was much bigger than simply making your Switch a bit more stable. It actually was making Switch a bit more secure. In fact, it appears that 6.2.0, the reason it came out was actually to combat hacking, and it did it in a way that no one's really sure what to do about. You see, this is coming from well-known hackers of the Switch, named Venna from Reset Era, and then Scryers M over on Twitter, and Dukes on Twitter as well. These are all well-known Nintendo Switch hackers that have been at the forefront of the Switch hacking scene, and this is interesting. So here's what Venna said. To anyone playing along, the changes in 6.2 are genuinely fascinating in how Nintendo rebuilt their boot process to build a completely new, secure boot. Nintendo has figured out how to defeat a hardware flaw with a software update. The Big N did a real good job here. Real damn good. We'll see if it can remain undefeated for a while. But so long as the TSEC remains secure, the only way to hack 6.2 and above Switches will be through Userland, even with the older hardware shot model, meaning that we've entered a possible line in the sand for the Switch hacking scene that ends at 6.1.0. Then Scryers M here says it's not a certainty. Something clever could be thought up at any time, but I would prepare yourself for the potentially quite the wait. 6.2.0 key generation. Nintendo did a really good job. This is extremely clever of them. I am impressed. Unless somebody owns TSEC authorizations mode, they've managed to bootstrap themselves a secure boot out of this SHIT. Dukes went on to say, Nintendo removed the grace period of 7 days and is now forcing everyone to update to be able to access the eShop. That means from this moment on, CDN downloading is officially dead. No more game updates or DLCs can be pulled until the new key is derived. So, to break this all down, Nintendo fixed a hardware hacking issue with a software mod. This is unheard of in basically anywhere in technology. It's very rare a software update can fix a hardware mod. So, you used to be able to short out the pins and get access to the bootloader and change up the boot sequence and load homebrew and blah, 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 blah. You could basically do anything you want, install Linux, blah, 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 blah. Well, you can't do that anymore. Not if you have update 6.2.0 or above, which you have to have if you want to use the Nintendo eShop in any capacity, get any of the new game updates, any of the new DLC that wasn't available before 6.2.0, you are literally stuck, unable to hack your Switch right now. I mean, I'm actually quite baffled that Nintendo did a software update to fix a hardware hack. So yeah, piracy for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to be kind of stopped as soon as the game releases and the day one update's out. I'm assuming there is a day one update. Of course, I'm not a big day one update fan, but I just automatically assume there's going to be day one updates for pretty much every game that releases. That's a debate for another time. But still, Nintendo has stopped hacking. Like, we've talked in the past about how Nintendo was doing updates and doing these things that would make hacking impossible, and it finally feels like they've released something that just applies to all hardware, old and new, to really just say, look, the hacking scene, you're good up to 6.1. Hope you don't plan to use your Switch after that and get any new games, because guess what? You won't be able to. And that's just astonishing to me that we live in a world where Nintendo has created this software update to stop a hardware hack. I'm still baffled they pulled this off. And yes, of course, someday, under the rainbow, in the distant future, someone's going to find a way around this particular software update. But when you sit there and you have the hacking community applauding Nintendo's effort to stop them because they cannot see a way forward, based on what Nintendo has done, they do not know what is going to happen to be able to crack through it this time. Like, what did Duke say here? That they need to get a new key derived to get around the T-Sec. It's basically because if they don't manage to defeat T-Sec, according to him, it's a considerable possibility. Then they will rely on userland exploits, thus beginning the game of cat and mouse with Nintendo patching exploits every new firmware. What essentially has happened is, even if someone finds a way around this, it would now be a simple instant patch for Nintendo to fix. So Nintendo has basically made it so it's extremely difficult to hack Switch from 6.2 forward, and this includes piracy, this includes homebrew, this includes some things that, it kind of sucks. So one thing I liked about homebrew is you could create local backups. Nintendo should offer that, and I've talked about in support of certain things in the hacking community in the past, but overall, with the rampant piracy issue happening with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate right now, the fact that they are forcing Switches to update to 6.2.0, this does let you know that anyone that is pirating it obviously is not using 6.2.0 and has not connected to the eShop and have avoided needing to update their Switch, because Nintendo is requiring that Switches are updated. There's no 7-day grace period anymore. It's you must update if you're using anything online. And obviously these people want any chance to play Super Smash Bros. Online. They're going to have to connect online sometime, and boom, they might get banned or whatever might happen because their Switch is already hacked, or the update might retcon the hack and not let their pirated game work. I don't know. I'm obviously not on their end to figure this stuff out. I'm just massively impressed, Nintendo, that this is one of the best anti-hacking efforts ever made within technology. And I know I guess I always have this fleeting thought, if Nintendo could put this much effort into creating just these massive methods to prevent hacking from going mainstream and preventing piracy on Switch and all this great stuff they're actually doing that's good for consumers and really, really, really good for Nintendo, why can't we get basic features like messaging through Nintendo Switch Online, or like custom themes, or local backups, or Netflix, or one of a zillion other features missing? Whatever. I guess Nintendo's primary focus is on security. Their primary focus is clearly on preventing hacking and preventing piracy. And you know what? I applaud them for that. You guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. There's a lot of ongoing conversation in the hacking community about this, and someone's eventually going to get around it, but now getting around it is not something that is like Nintendo can't patch out. Like the hardware hack was something Nintendo, no matter how many patches they released, couldn't do anything about, and now, well, it's taken care of. So the next step is simply minor workarounds that work for a day or two and then don't work anymore. And that essentially means Nintendo has kind of defeated hacking on Switch, at least for the time being. Anyways, folks, I'm Nathaniel Rovachance from Nintendo Prime. If you would like to enter our Nintendo Switch Super Smash Bros. Ultimate giveaway, we have a Gleam.io link down in the description. Otherwise, folks, I'll just catch all of you guys in the next one.